morning, Belinda. How are you? How are you, Belinda? Good morning. Good afternoon, Jane. Hello there. Good afternoon, Kim. How are you? I'm well, thank you. Are you? I'm very well, Belinda. How about you? Just drinking a mouthful of tea. Guten Tag, Anjay. Hello, Susan. How are you? Good afternoon, Sue. Good afternoon, everybody. How is everybody? Sleepy-eyed but wonderful. I'm always sleepy-eyed, Belinda. Good. Oh, I don't know whether I'm wonderful, though. Good afternoon, Wendy. Good afternoon, Roz. Hello, Serena. Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, Nicola. Oh, did you miss me yesterday? Oh, thank you. Hello, Lucy. How are you? Abs than me. Abs is a bit better to look at than me. Hello, Janice. How are you, Serena? Hello there. Hello, Mia. Good afternoon, Shirley. Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, Sarah John. Hello there. Hello, Fiona. Have you just finished watching him? Me too. I just finished as well, Sue. And then you get me, it's like double dose. Double dose of trouble. Hello, Janet. I nearly forgot, but you didn't, Janet. You're here. I'm very well, Fiona. How about you? I've just been outside having a look at the ducks. Just trying to finish off my flag book, so may catch up with this one later. No problem, Stephanie. You enjoy your flag book. I keep staying awake at night too late and then pay the price in the morning. Yes, I stay awake late, Belinda. I stay awake till the early hours, I must admit. Hi, Steph. Hi, Becky. I'm very well. Are you? Are you, Becky? Hi, Piggy Sue. Hi, Lee. Hello, Frida. Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, Isabel. So what have we been up to? Have you been doing anything good? Frustrated with adhesives. Oh no, Serena. It's not good to get frustrated with adhesives. Oh, Belinda, bless her. Good afternoon, Liz. So what have you been up to? Anything good? I say that as if you can nip out somewhere and do something juicy. I'm like, yes, we went from the lounge to the kitchen. Hello, Carol. Hello, Lynn. I'm very well, Sue. Are you? Paper strips. That's because I didn't want to waste them. I've already done that bit, so don't worry. You haven't got to watch me. Hello, Debbie. Debbie says, hello, Tracy and the gang. We all seem to be okay at the moment, Debbie. We're not creating a flag book today. That flag book took forever, didn't it? Hi, Deb. How are you, Flower? So, yes, I'm just waiting a few moments. I'm going to stick some pieces of card to my card because I didn't want to waste them. I've had hundreds of them. I've been doing a frustrating job making hoops with twine. Making hoops with twine. Is that for a specific project, Lucy? Is that for something special? I am having a computer meltdown. Oh, computers are... I always have them. If you ever see me, Anita, and something goes wrong with the computer, I just scream at my husband, fix it now. That was what I did at the weekend, actually. I'm an early hours person as well, Yvonne. I love the quiet of the night as well, and I get a lot more done. Went food shopping this morning, first times in 2.5 months. Wow, Jane. How did you find it? Oh, the garden centre's open tomorrow, Linda. I don't know whether I dare go. I still don't feel safe, to be honest. I ordered some compost online. A lady messaged me and I ordered some compost online and it's come this afternoon. Oh, bless you, Nicola. Oh, that's so kind of you, Nicola. Thank you very much. Yes, I did have a good day yesterday. What did I do yesterday? What was Monday? I can't even remember what I did yesterday. Thank you for sharing, Margaret. I loved the flag books, Isabel. We had a good workshop, apart from a couple of blips where my phone just decided there was no memory left. I nearly had a meltdown. Now that really does look interesting, doesn't it, Linda? A few paper strips. Tracy time. Yay, Lynn. Oh, you've not been feeling too good? Oh, Lynn, sending hugs. Yes, for your next workshop. Maybe instead of oh, intriguing, Lucy. I'm intrigued. I ordered wooden circle cutouts. They were a little more expensive than cake boards. How brilliant. I love how you're all thinking outside the box. 4 a.m. Belinda. He's been trying to fix my computer, but it keeps crashing. I have to rely on my husband, Anita, and when something crashes, I have a meltdown. I know, Lucy, everybody's work's been fantastic, hasn't it? I just adore seeing the flag books. And Sue Saxton, I don't know whether anybody's friends with Sue Saxton or can tag her. Sue Saxton can't find us. Nicola, bloody brill workshop, flipping flaps. I need to be careful how I say that. It wasn't too bad then, Jane. Hubby gave me a face mask that he had and I dug out my rubber gloves. Oh, brilliant. I haven't got any face masks. We're still here, Lorraine. I'm still doing me waffling. Isabel spelt something. Hello, Liz. I made a mask out of a sock. Anita, I couldn't make a mask out of a piece of paper, never mind a sock. Afternoon, neat, Lorraine says. Lorraine says, good afternoon, neat. And June couldn't find me then. Were you over on the dark side, June? Welcome to my side of the planet, the dark side. Hello, Leslie. Wow, I'm getting carried away with the hellos and I forgot that I'm supposed to be demoing, aren't I? We don't have a choice but I think out the box. I think it's brilliant that you think out the box, Isabel. You're all very clever. It was bloody brill. Thank you, Lucy. So, I had lots of these. So what I'm demoing today is I'm going to use my pear stamp because I've got, hello, Sue. And you've been asked to make face masks, have you, Maureen? No, I'm useless on the sewing machine. I'm sorry. Hello, Marion. Hello, Callie. Good afternoon, Flower. It's hello time. Hello. Good afternoon, Tracy. My ducks are doing beautifully. They're running round like headless chickens now. They're running round so fast. Absolutely mental. So I'm using this stamp set today because this is in the one-day special next week. Yes, definitely could make one out of a sock, Tracy. So, no, I couldn't, Sarah John. Have you seen my sewing? I sew on a card like iddledy-piddledy. It'd be the worst mask you've ever seen. Do I keep you sane, Linda? Or I could be actually converting you to the dark side, not keeping you sane. I could be converting you to the loopy side. What are them angry faces? What does angry faces mean? There's some angry faces floating up the screen. I don't know what they mean. Wonky pears. We love a wonky pear. I can do wonky pears any time of the day, Isabel. Sue's made a birthday card with a subject of kickboxing for my... Wow, that's a difficult one, Sue. No, I don't sew. No, I literally sew on my cards and that's it. I've got a sewing machine for sewing on cards. Oh, thank you, Debbie. I can see angry faces going up the screen and I don't know why. Oh, there's no sewing on the sock ones. There's no sewing. Almost as much as watching. Oh, bless you, Diane. Made some ready to take to the grandson to hospital. Oh, we'll have to look on that. She's on now. A paper bag with eye holes would do. A paper bag with eye holes. Hi, Robin. Hi there. If you use a sock, you only need a pair of scissors. Oh, perfect. A pair of scissors and a few holes. Brilliant. That's all I need then. We're on to, exactly, I've been on 2 minutes, Karen, and they're on the wonky pear comments. That was actually Isabel's fault. Isabel got onto the wonky pear. I'll have to have a look it up, Belinda. So I'm going to use the pear. I'm using this because it's in the one-day special next week. It's on, the one-day special's on the 18th and 19th. So that's why I'm using this stamp set. They are share face. Is that a share face? Good grief, I learn something new every day. I didn't know that. Oh, are they laughing oh, I can see laughing faces, but like the orange face with a miserable face, the orange head, it looks like its head is glowing. That one there, what's that? Where the head's glowing going up the screen. What are they? Where his head looks like he's glowing. What does that mean? Yeah, them. What are them? Oh, I've got orange ones going up my screen. I don't know what they are. The frog is on the one-day... The frog is the second bundle. But this is the one-day special. So we're starting with wonky pears. The frog is on the show, but it isn't the one-day special bundle. It's part of the bigger bundle. Has different faces on it too that I haven't figured. Yeah, mine's got different faces. It's got a face here. That is an angry face, exactly. It's an angry face. I thought it was an angry face. That one, yeah. So was somebody angry with me? Oh, they are new. They are caring faces. You see, I know I learn something new every day. Right, let's do some crafting. It's an angry person emoji. You see, somebody's angry with me. Grumpy faces. Yeah, just seen the orange one too. Yeah, it's grumpy, isn't it? The orange one's a grumpy face, isn't it? It's miserable. We're not angry, Tracy. Hello, Sue. Hello there. Hi, Tracy. Orange are angry, but orange mouth is share. Oh, right. I learn something new every day. Holding our breath for more wonky pear comments. The care is a yellow one hugging a heart. Oh, right. Oh, it's holding a heart. Well, this is definitely an angry face then. So what I've got here is I've got a piece of card, and as you can see, I didn't want to bin. They're still coming up the screen now, look. Oh well. So now I've got these confused as the red and the heart and the arms. I'm confused now, Joe, as well. I'm totally confused. So we've got these pieces of card here, and I've just stuck them to a card background. Sometimes it's hard to hit the right face. It is, isn't it, Belinda? It depends if you've got fat fingers. Are you late, Sue? It doesn't matter. We've done nothing. So I've attached these pieces of card to a background of white card. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these two colours today. The next workshop, Sue, is the... Hang on. I need to get my diary, Sue, because if I say the wrong date... Caring faces. Thank you, Isabel. If you move the mouse over in the line of the... Ah, right, got you. That makes sense. The next workshop, Sue, is the 23rd and 24th of May. 23rd and 24th of May. Oh, you see, Tracy answered it for me. Thank you, Tracy. Lucy said, it's either people waiting for their stamp orders or people who've used too much fake tan. I'm going to remember that face as somebody that uses too much fake tan. That is hilarious. Right, so I'm using aqueduct egg and I'm using beanstalk. Beanstalk. There's no faces going up at all for Stephen. Not a single face. Yay, the new washing machine's ready for use for Ginny. Yay. So, hello, Stephen, by the way. Pork chop fingers is Tim's favourite. Pork chop fingers. So, aqueduct egg. Oh, look how clogged up that is. Lovely. So we're going to use some aqueduct egg. As you can see, well loved aqueduct egg. And we're going to use some beanstalk. Thanks everyone for the date. It comes from Towie. Oh, so I'm just using a touch of these colours like so. Let me just get another strip of card. Just reaching for another piece of card. I'd send an email, Jane, because that's just no chance that should be that long. Save that bit of paint. Oh, of course we do, Fiona. Look, we save that. Of course we save it. You should know me by now. You should know me. Sorry, I have to come back later to see the reply. Have to go. No problem, Gabby. No problem at all. Let me just take this out while I remember. There we go. I'm just remembering to take this out while I can. That's it. I've got paint all over me. So I've now got this paint here on, I wish it was easier to find here in Canada. I have searched and searched. I'll have to have a look at our stockists for you, Karen. Jenny. So hello Carol. I don't blame you, Jane. I don't blame you. Hi Sheila. So we've got these two colours of paint, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz the paint with water, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix them a little bit with my fingers. Just mix them a little bit so they marble with my fingers. Just make sure I've got a wipe. So just mix the paints so they marble. Hi Tracy, I'm watching at the same time as having to go through for money back from holiday. Oh no, Sue, sorry about that. So can you see that I've got these two colours on my non-stick craft sheet? So I'm now going to mop up that paint with my card. I'm going to mop it up just so that it gives me a more random effect to my card. So it gives me a more random effect. And then I can spritz that with water. Spritz this with more water and dab the card. I'm not finger painting this time. I'm literally mopping the card up, mopping the paint up with the card because I want a more random effect. I don't want it to be too regimented. So let's just pick up the rest of the paint. So I'm just picking up the rest of the paint just so that we don't waste it. Just picking up the majority of the paint. So we've then got this on the background. Let me just wipe up the little bit that's there. What are we saying? So this just gives you a different effect when you mop up the paint. The reason it gives you, let me just get some baby wipe. The reason it gives you a different effect is because I should have gone yesterday. Oh, right. So it means that you get some of the darker areas, some of the lighter areas, and if you spritz with water, you can then make it run to make it more marbled if you want to. So you can make more of the marbling if you tilt the paints. So it just gives a more random effect. But what you have to do, it's like a map of Australia. What you need to do is let that dry naturally because I like these dark areas here. And if you let it dry, you let it dry naturally. So let's move that out the way. And bring in one we've done earlier. So this is what you end up with when it's dry naturally. Yes, I hope you get your refund as well. Whoopee, just done a reset so can see the faces and saw my heart. Yay, there you go, Stephen. And my care ones. But I won't do an angry one. Well, you can do an angry one, Stephen, as long as I know why people are angry. And then at least I can do something about it. So can you see, when you add your paint like that, 10 pence please. So when you add your paint like that, you get these dark patches, you get these little marbled patches of the blue, but I like these dark patches here. So it gives me a more random effect with the paint. So can you see I've got a nice sort of blend of colour, but it's not like painting with the paint. Hello Louise, hello there. So it just gives you a different effect with your paint. Just a different way to apply it, especially if you're a little bit frightened of either finger painting or painting with a brayer, if you're a little bit frightened of doing that because you don't get a random enough effect, couldn't get in at all today. Oh, crikey, what a pain, Chris. So if you can't find a way, say that you're struggling with the brayer, or you're struggling with finger painting, or you're struggling with anything else, this is a lovely way to get a background without thinking about it. So how did I make the creases? I just put bits of card on the, hello Patricia, I just put bits of card on my background, Annie, and then I spritzed paint onto my craft sheet and mopped it up. So if I bring in the wet one for Annie, so Anna, the wet one looks like this. This is the wet one. And then you let it dry naturally. You let it dry naturally. It's just so that those people who, I have a lot of messages from some people where they say they can't get a random background. So this gives you a random background without too much technical stuff. They're just strips of card, Annie. They're just strips of card. But when you've mopped up the paint, some of the darker areas catch in the ridges of the paint. Just strips of glued on card. It doesn't matter that you're late, Paula. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add a little bit of lightness to my background. And it's very textural. You check your cake, Maureen, don't let it burn. So I'm just going to use a touch of honeydew. So I'm just going to use a little touch of honeydew. Hello, Kim. Just going to use a little touch of honeydew, and I'm going to brayer that honeydew out, and I'm going to go over my card very lightly indeed, especially where the ridges of my card are. I'm going to go over very lightly. Would make fab wood effect. Exactly, Jane. I'm just trying to think of some ideas that are not too complicated. I had a couple of emails and a couple of messages at the weekend, and a couple of ladies wanted some simple techniques that still look good for backgrounds because they weren't very good with a brayer. So I thought that was a nice easy way to do it without having to think about the technique too much. But you know what I'm like? You know that I like to add layers to my background. I'll lift this up so you can see. Let me just move this paint out of the way. I'll move this up so you can see the result. Can you see what that cream does, that cream layer of paint? Thank you, June, for helping. Can you see the layer here? How it just adds a little bit of texture to your design. The honeybee really helps the strips of card. Yes, the honeydew does, Jane. I think it makes it pop. But my favourite bit is where it catches on the edges here. Where it catches on the edges, I love that effect. It's lovely how it catches on the edges. So just a little bit of a different effect for you. Just to take it up a level. It's quite nice. And you could stick any focal image on there that you wanted to, really. And then what I've got is I've got another piece of card where I added my background to. This was just leftover paints. So I'm now going to ink the pear. So this is for us later on. So we'll just move that to one side, and we're going to stamp the pear on here. It looks all right, doesn't it? I think that looks really nice. I'm really pleased with that. And all it is strips of card. So even if you can't afford much, use any paints. And you could even do that with inks. So even if you haven't got paints, the card is 7 by 7, Belinda. 7 inches by 7 inches. Don't worry about being late, Carolyn. I've overlapped the pieces of card. So they're slightly overlapped. Each piece is slightly overlapped on each other. And I've sort of made them random. I didn't measure them. I just cut up what pieces I'd got, and I've overlapped them on each one. Yes, they are overlapped, Carol. Absolutely, they're overlapped. Just because it looks more like ridges then, and also if they're overlapped, it gives you more texture. And you see, Wendy can see half her face. You see, you don't throw anything away. But sometimes we can get a little bit carried away with not thinking about people who can't. Some people can't do backgrounds. It's just not their cup of tea. And because they can't do the backgrounds, they get frustrated. So I'm just trying to think of some different ways of creating backgrounds. If did in rainbow strips of colour would be a rainbow xylophone. Yes, exactly. If they're in strips of colour, it would look fab. So it's just thinking about taking the techniques to the level that you want to take it to. If you want to keep it very simple, then keep it very simple. If you don't, then you can take it steps further. So what I'm doing now is I'm just stamping my pear onto a spare piece of that painted card. Even the mistakes sometimes, Hope, I die cut pieces out of them, or I cut hearts out of them. If you cut a heart out of a piece of card that's a mistake, it looks totally different. To narrow down my want list of paint. Oh, don't get me on want lists of paints, Belinda. It's a nightmare. I can't narrow down paints. I find it really difficult to narrow down. So I'm just stamping the pear onto the background. So what I'm doing is I'm creating my pieces. And as you can see, I've already cut one out here. But I'm going to cut this one out as well, which won't take me a few moments. Just so that we just need to remember to blot this image. Oh no, Eugenia, are you okay? A little late, there was an accident on the road. Oh no, I hope nobody's hurt, Eugenia. Eugenia, I hope nobody's hurt. So I'm just blotting the pear, because look how much ink comes off. Yes, I'm okay. It was in front of me. I hope whoever was in front of you is okay. Yeah, I have a problem, Louise, because I'm a paint addict as well. I'm a paint addict, a stamp addict, a gardening addict, an ink addict, an embellishment addict. In fact, I have a real problem. So Eugenie says she's okay. It was in front of her. So I'm hoping nobody's hurt. So just remember to blot your image. Oh, I've now got strips of card all over the floor because I've just chucked them everywhere. I'm just going to give that a dry. Annalise says, Jalukig Eugenie. So she obviously, Annalise is sending you a message, Eugenie. I'm a Tracy. Oh, bless Leslie. And I've made Belinda a paint addict. We have no hope, do we? We have no hope between us, really, do we? No hope at all. Let me just show you this. Do you remember the paint that I picked up from this? Look at the paint I picked up. Look how beautiful that is just from picking the paint up. I'm a pen addict. Alcohol or water. Oh, I like pens as well, Stephen. I've just remembered, and pencil crayons. Oh dear, there's no chance, is there? But look at that background that we just picked up. Just from mopping up the paint. Yes, oh crikey Jane, yes, and a tea addict. Oh, and chocolate. In fact, I've got a real problem. But look at that background. Just from mopping up bits of paint. And Isabel's a stamp addict now. Why do you think my shop was called a craft addict? Till I found you. Oh, oops, Kim. Oops. Oops. I've made you all addicts. I'm not a very good influence, am I really? It's not very good. How do you put emojis on comments? Somebody explain to Belinda how you put emojis on comments while I just cut this out, because you know this is taking all my concentration. So I'm just going to cut. So while I cut this out, can somebody explain to Belinda how you put emojis on comments? Tracy has made me a jelly plane. Oh, good grief. I'm making everybody an addict. Welcome to the dark side. Welcome to the dark side. I need to do a Darth Vader voice. Shame I can't do a Darth Vader voice. Ian can. Ian can do a Darth Vader voice, but I can't. If I could do a Darth Vader voice, I would. But just a bit of paint proves that you don't have to be knowledgeable in much, apart from the fact I've used opaque paints. so I was able to layer the paints. Oh, I like how the dark side is so fun. Oh yes, Karen. At least we have some fun, don't we, Karen? So I'm just cutting out the pear, which doesn't take me long. So you can all answer Belinda, tell her how to put an emoji for us, even if we're blooming, even if we're becoming addicts. Oh dear, I am having a bad effect on everybody. So what we've got now is my 2 pears, which I'm going to layer like this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some detail in the background. Hello, Lindsay. I love how everybody's trying to describe to Belinda now. So let me just find... I'm now going to use this stamp set. I'm going to use stamp set 352. Yes, Pergamano scissors. I obviously missed that comment. Yes, these are Pergamano scissors. Yes, we could be addicted to far worse, couldn't we, Joe? Exactly. Hello, Lindsay. How are you, Flower? I'll look it up later. We can describe it later. You can look at the comments, Belinda. So I'm now going to use this stamp set, the circled numbers, because I want to use this in the background to give some detail. So I'm going to use it with my archival aquamarine. So what I've got, I had this stamped from earlier. So what I'm thinking is this is going on here like this. And then my 2 pears are going on the top like so. So I'm just going to adhere the 2 pears. I think that I think that pear would make good balloon upside down. Yes, it would. Yes, it would, Angela. You see, that's thinking outside the box, that is. Thinking outside the box. So I'm just going to adhere these 2 pears together, just so that it gives me a little bit of dimension. So I'm just adhering them together, like so. Perfect. So just leave that like that. Hello, my name is Jane and I am an addict. Hello, my name is Tracy and I've got a major problem. So I'm now using Ranger Archival ink Aquamarine. So I'm going to ink my stamp up with Aquamarine. But I'm going to ink it up randomly. And what I like about this is there's no straight edges because they're all circles. So I'm going to stamp it randomly. Your regulars are all addicts, Tracy. Are they all addicts, Isabel? You see, I just want a touch of detail in the background. As you can see, I've got these circles in the background with little numbers in the background. So I'm just going to add this randomly in the background. So I'm just inking it up, just so I can have some random circles in the background, just to give me a little bit of detail. And I'm just going to judge where my pear is going. So my pear's going here. This is what I'm thinking. My pear's going here. So I'm just trying to decide where to add some stamping. We are a major focus group, need government help. Yay, Bev, the Beatles arrived. That sounds so wrong. That sounds like the Beatles arrived at your house. Like Paul McCartney arrived at your house when I've said the Beatles arrived. So I'm just adding these circles in the background just to give me another detail. And then I want to add some numbers. So I'm going to add my number stamp in the background. I want some numbers as well. My name is Lee and I have a real problem with Tracy. Do you know, I hope nobody reads these comments because they're going to think we're nuts. Mind you, we are. Thank you, Carolyn. So I'm now going to need some government funding. That's a good idea, Diane. Do you think we could ask for some government funding? What do you think? So I'm now going to stamp some numbers in the background. I'm going to add some numbers. I'm just judging where I want my numbers and I want them overlapping a bit. We could do with some funding for goodies. Yeah, we could do with good. Do you think if we write to the government, we'll get some? You see, this is what I like. Look at this. Where the circle the circle background is overlapping the numbers. I love that. I love that. Calico you can get from Amazon. But I love how the circles intertwine with the numbers. Oh, take care, Janet. Sending hugs. Oh, and Stephen actually got a left-handed pair of scissors, and it takes ages to get used to them after all these years of using the... Oh, I can just imagine that as well, Stephen, trying to get used to them. So I'm now going to add some more numbers to the background. Just add some more numbers to my background. And I'm just adding them randomly. So I'm just adding them randomly. And it doesn't matter that they touch the ridges of the card. That doesn't matter. What I want is a random background like this. Can you see? This is where I'm going with my background. So that I've got these random numbers. Trump can't read petitions too. I love Calico. I love Calico. But I'm loving these little details in the background. So I'm just going to add another number. Just move that out the way. And I'm going to add the number 4. But I'm using them randomly. I'm not stamping everything precisely. So I'm adding it randomly. That's it. Perfect. And I haven't stamped in black. I've stamped in like a turquoise colour. Just so you can see where I'm going. Just loving the turquoise colour and this texture from the background. Thank you, Belinda. Yes, they're on pre-order, aren't they, with Frantic Stamper. I saw them the other day. Fiona's ripped up her husband's work shirt. I think that's brilliant. She's ripped up her husband's work shirt. That is brilliant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this like so. That's going to go there. But I think I'm just going to add some scratchy lines. Let me just get some of this cream paint again. Let's move the pear out the way just for a minute. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. I'm just enjoying my creative time. And to be honest, I'm so happy with the stamps and the way they've turned out. I'm really pleased. They always turn out better than I imagine. I'm just adding some scratchy lines. I will pick this up so you can see. Let me pick that up. Can you see here? I'm adding some scratchy lines here. Just so that it adds another layer of detail. Because this cream paint just lifts everything. Oh, thank you so much, Belinda. We always need rain though, just not all at once, exactly. So we've just got these scratchy lines here. So if you look at the detail, I've got this circular element here. I've got the strips of card. I've got the layers of paint. And now I'm adding these strips of scratchy lines. I love scratchy lines. So what I do is I bring in my focal image so I can see where I'm going. So this is going here. So now I can see where to add some scratchy lines. I can see where to add my textural lines. I'm just thinking about it, not related to this, but can you tell me where you can get the staple refill for the Tim Holtz stapler? I got that from Amazon or from Country View had it. I'm just using an old credit card, Lindsay. An old credit card to make the scratchy lines. You could even use a piece of old card. Stick several pieces of card together and you can make your own credit card. So just stick several pieces of card together and you can make your own. But I've just got an old credit card that Chris gave me some old ones. Yes, you can get them from Amazon, but I thought Country View had them as well. I thought they had them as well. But yes, the staple refills are there. Yes, old gift card, anything like that. But just wipe up this. Can you see where I'm going? If I lift this up, you can see scratchy lines here, here, and here, and here. It adds another little texture to your design. But look how delicious that background is. I love the background. But if you haven't got an old credit card, stick some pieces of card together and use it that way. Tracy, I wish. Don't think I can buy much with it. True, Sue, yes. I have been so confused that I was not sure which new stamps I wanted, but watching Tracy gives me so many. But for me, Patricia, the idea is that because I'm the designer of the stamps, it's important for me to give you some ideas. Then you can go away and pick no stamps, 1 stamp, or 3 stamps. I just want to give you ideas, because if I can't give you ideas with the stamps, then I think it's pointless. I need to be able to give you ideas with the stamps. And at the moment, I'm loving using them. I'm absolutely loving using them. I get more inspired the more I use them. Hello, Emily. How are you? Hello, Emily. Countryside, I think. Oh, thank you, Eugenie. Thank you, Julianne. So what I've got there is the basis of my focal image. And I'm just going to bring in my pear so I can see where I'm going. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring some scratchy lines here, but I'm going to do that in the turquoise. So bring my card in again, and I'm going to bring in the turquoise. Belinda's in Texas, Hope, just in case you don't see Belinda's message. So I'm just adding some scratchy lines of turquoise to my calico, just bringing in some scratchy lines because that turquoise looks lovely against the calico. It looks lovely against the calico. So I'm just bringing in, I'll lift it up again so that you can see. And I'm not rushing today because I just want to enjoy the process and I don't want to do a rubbish sample. It looks like a very fat snail. But there you go. You can just see that I've added some of those scratchy lines here just to bring the turquoise into the calico. Just turning in between cooking tea and getting the kids organised. Oh, you sound busy, Emily. You sound busy. So I'm just going to bring in my pear like this. So I'm going to bring in the pear, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a rusty wire element. So I'm going to add some rusty wire. So I just need my staples. You are the only crafter that emphasises on how to use your stamps. I think it's important, Isabel. To be honest, I like to be honest with the crafters. Obviously, I'm promoting my stamps, but I think it's important that I have to show how passionate I am because you have to know that I love stamps. I've always loved stamps from 24 years ago, but if I'm not going to show any ideas, I don't see the point. I don't see the point in me bringing stamps out if I'm not going to give you any ideas. I don't see the point at all. So I'm just going to staple this into place. Well, that worked well, didn't it? Not. It didn't even staple into place. Just add another staple here. I'm just stapling this into place. So just bear with me a second while I staple it into place. A couple of my staples aren't stapling in, so just give me a couple of minutes while I try again. Wow, I'm doing well here. What are we saying? Oh, bless you, Belinda. That's it, I've now got it. So now get this one. I'm just trying to catch my little bits of wire. Sometimes your staples don't catch, so I'm just making sure they catch. That's better. So what I've got is a spotlight. I don't think there's any point because it's just, for me, even if you can only afford one little stamp, even one little stamp like this, I need to give you ideas with that stamp. Even using that stamp on its own with a sentiment. There has to be, you have to give something for everybody, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this pear here. WS, really looking forward to Wisley Garden show too. Oh, what a shame, Nicola. I was looking forward to the shows as well. but I can't go, unfortunately, but never mind. I've ordered some little bits online from some garden place that a lady sent to me, so I've ordered some compost. I think the little stamps are little gems. So I'm just adding this here, like so. Now, when we were off camera, let me show you. I can't pick it up. I've done another pair. Can you see here? It's still not dry yet, but I will be adding this later. It's not dry. It's got crackle accents on. It's got crackle accents. So I'm going to have to wait for another... Oh, hello, Anne. Oh, thank you, Anne. I'm going to have to wait till this dries overnight for it to start crackling. And when this crackles, I'll add this to the top of this. But that's still drying at the moment with crackle accents on. So I'll add that on the top later. So what I'm going to do, I'm now going to embellish. I'm going to add, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add this to this black frame inside here like this. So I'm going to add it in the black frame. So I'm going to add this in here. I was commissioned to do. Oh, Serena, hope you enjoyed your commission card. And I hope the recipient enjoys it. Enjoys your card. So I'm just adding this into the black frame. So I'm just going to add this into here. So add this, and I just need to bend my head because I just need to make sure that it sticks. I just need to hold that in place for a few moments just to make sure that sticks. I just need to hold that. So let's have a conversation about anything. So we're just holding that in place. I love the colours, and we've not finished yet because we need to embellish. So I'm just holding this in place so that the adhesive has some time to stick, because it's not sticking here. So I just need to hold that in place. It may need gel medium. It may need gel just to hold it in place. I like it against the black. I think the black looks lovely against the black. So just making sure, you have to not be in too much of a rush to make sure it sticks. It's been horrid to do as it's a karate card. The hands have been so fiddly to stick down. Yes, I saw that some guests have gone. I'm not going into the studio, Belinda. Because I'm not going into the studio because of my father-in-law and because of my dad. It's too much of a risk. My dad's got COPD, so I have to be careful. And we are the main carer for my father-in-law. So because we're the main carer for my father-in-law, I have to go into my father-in-law, and I'm not prepared to risk his health. So I'm not going into the studio. But I will inspire you here from my home, hopefully. But look at that in the black. This, Margaret, was I just searched 8x8 shadow frame and this came up. Had a pear tree in my old house. My father-in-law planted it on the day that my son was born. Oh, that's special, Leslie. It was 4 foot high when we moved. Let me plus see more. 34 years later. Wow, that's special then. That's special, Leslie. That means a lot. No, I'm not going in, I'm afraid, because it's too much of a risk to my father-in-law. And I'm sorry, he means more to me than craft. This is rusty tin wire. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to embellish. And embellishing is really important to me because I just love to embellish. That's just the way I am. So what I've got here, let me just click this out. I've got a little pear. Can you see that I've done that with clear? And Margaret got frames from Hobbycraft. So I've got this pear here, this pear sentiment, and I've cracked it. It's clear embossed and I've cracked it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere that to a bottle top. Tracy, would you be going to Ali to demonstrate on James's stand? I was going to be, yes, Stephen. But apparently Ali Pally's been moved to November and I can't do that date. Oh, female Tim Holtz. I'm taking that one. That's a compliment. So can you see I'm just using an old bottle top and I'm going to add this to the bottle top. So I'm just going to stick that inside my bottle top. Oh, thank you, Patsy. That is so, so kind, Patsy. I'm laughing at Jane's comment because I get everybody bin diving. So there you go. Can you see we've got an embellishment that you can make out of a bottle top. So go bin diving, get back to that bin diving and get some bottle tops. Get some bottle tops. And what we're going to do is I'm going to add this here as an embellishment, and I'm loving it already. I was at Ali in 2016. It was a highlight of my visit. Oh, bless Hope. So I'm just going to add this here. I can't go, Stephen, because the date in November, somebody's booked a workshop for me to do a workshop, and they've booked it in November. But to be honest, Stephen, I'll need it to be very safe before I step foot anywhere. So I'm just going to add this bottle top here. I met you, didn't I, Stephen? Anyway, at the NEC, didn't I, Stephen? Didn't I meet you at the NEC with James? So I'm just adding the pear embellishment there. Can you see? I'm just adding that there. Just to give me my own little embellishment. Another excuse to drink. Listen, I always give you excuses to drink and bin dive. And Sue's got bottle tops. Oh, Tracy, how did I know you were going to use bottle tops? I started saving them at the weekend. Roz, we're telepathic. We're on par with each other. Can you see that all of it's coming together? Those scratchy lines really add something. We've now made our own embellishment that we've cracked with clear embossing. We've got the scratchy lines that bring the scratchy lines from the background into the focal image. So it's really coming together now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this arrow here that points to the pear. So I'm going to add that arrow embellishment. There you go, Sue, an excuse to use them. We need an excuse to use them. I'm trying to come up with some simple ideas for you that don't cost money, and then we can spend more money on stamps and paints. Ha! Because that's what I end up doing. But I'm trying to make it so that you can use some cheap things as well, like bottle tops, clear embossing powders that you've got in your stash. But that arrow, replying to Joe, it would definitely help. Hang on, what did Joe say? It would definitely help. What did Joe say? I've missed Joe's comment. Why does that give me an excuse to drink beer? It does give you an excuse to drink beer. What are you like, Tracy? Teach us to bin dive, drinking and being addicts. Exactly, Isabel. What could be better? Better? We had a box of 10 between us over the bank holiday. There you go, Roz. So that arrow is pointing to the pear, okay? And then I'm just thinking about my composition. I think I'm now the recycling centre. Hope's the recycling centre. I've just put a bit of glue on my black thingy. We don't want that. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to get some gesso. Bear with me a second. I'm just going to get some gesso, because I don't want to rush my project. I'm not rushing my project. So I'm just thinking where I want my little index clips. I want my index clips. I want one there and one there. I have to talk to myself because it goes in easier. Clear embossing powder and then cracked it. Yes. I clear embossed it and then cracked it. So I'm just thinking where I want my index clips there, but I don't want to put them yet because I'm thinking I can put a couple of little bottles here. So let me gesso these bottles. Let me get some cut and dry foam. Oh, bless you, Joe. Thank you. That makes me happy. So I keep running the chair over me heat gun wire. So my heat gun is now wrapped around my chair. Hang on a minute. Let me just move that. That's it. I've got my wire stuck under my chair. You know what I'm like. I always get my wire stuck under my chair. So I'm just going to add some gesso to these little bottles. I found these in my stash, so I'm just going to add some gesso. What are we saying? Yep, we like it when you talk to yourself. I'm sorry, I can't help but talk to myself. It's just something I do naturally, is talk to myself. So I'm just adding some gesso to my little bottles. And I'm not in a rush today, so I'm sorry I'm a little bit slower, but I'm not in a rush. Just move this frame out the way. Whoops. We will all be at a Tracy Evans addict group. Do you know, it'd be lovely if we could all meet up afterwards, wouldn't it? And just have a laugh about these difficult times that we've had and just meet up. It'd be lovely. So I'm just going to give that a dry. Now be careful because this will get hot. We don't, that's the scary part. Replying to Steve. Oh, Gina wants pear cider now. Gina wants pear cider. So I'm just giving these a heat. Oh, bless you, Isabel. Am I never slow, Belinda? It always feels like when you're demonstrating to a live audience, it's strange because you always think you're taking longer than you really are. It's a strange feeling when you demo something. You've got this feeling that you don't want it to be tedious. So you're always aware of not being too slow. It's strange. It's a strange feeling. So I'm just adding some more gesso to my bottles. It's just very random. Just very random. I think to myself all the time, yes, it would be lovely to see everyone, but I want everybody to be safe. Have you been crazy busy this morning, Laurie? Well, I hope you're okay. Come to Michigan. Can you imagine me in Michigan? No problem, Anna. Take care. Can you imagine me? Do you think America could stand my sense of humour and my warped? So I'm just adding a little bit of gesso. So that'll be fine. So just dry that one more. We don't mind, you entertainers. It's a good job you don't mind a bit of mad. I'm just drying these, but don't forget these will be very hot. So then don't go and pick them up. Who's in Michigan? I don't care, I don't mind. Some friends, hopefully. Some friends in Michigan. I'm starving. Starving. So I'm just adding a little bit of this blue. Now I've added the gesso, I can add a touch of this blue paint. It doesn't matter if some wipes off because you want that random feel. You're not going for perfection here. You're going for a random feel. So just tip these up like so. Just give them a dry again. Would the USA lock me up? Somebody mentioned Michigan. I'm sure they did, Belinda, unless I really am going nutty. But no venue big enough. Oh, I'm starving. Laurie's in Ohio. You're stamping a juicy pear. No wonder you're I'm starving, Laura. I'm starving. Ian always has my tea ready. He's such a gem. So don't touch these because they're hot. Not a good idea. So let them cool down because we don't want to burn ourselves, do we? So let me just add an index clip. Let's add these index clips because they should catch eventually. So I'm just going to add an index clip there. We'll just have to let it dry a few moments, but that's all right. We don't mind waiting, do we? We would all break you out of jail. Oh, would you break me out? You see, that's good. If anybody listens to this Facebook Live, they'll be thinking, why does Tracy need breaking out of jail? They wouldn't think we were talking about craft, would they? Almost, I'm starving. But look how it's coming together, and the black frame really lifts it, really lifts the design. I'm just going to wait 2 minutes for those just to catch, just so they catch. Because I don't think I can hold it up. Just let them catch for a couple of minutes. I'll vote. They would love Canada, Karen. There you go. Anne's replying to you. I can't get my words out. I'm just pressing all the embellishments to make sure that they just stick firmly. So I'm just making sure they stick. And I want another piece of calico. Another piece of calico. Nutters are not so anonymous. Would you be with me, Gina? Would you be with me? So now I'm just going to stamp this pear. Do you know, my husband's put the heating on. I'm having a hot flush. Oh, thank you, Belinda. I'm having a hot flush. My husband stuck the heating on. Gordon Bennett. It's boiling. So I'm just going to stamp. Let me just move this out the way so I can stamp the word pear. Let me just move this out the way just so I can stamp this word pear onto my calico. I'm loving calico at the moment. I like the leaves stuck out, Lynn. That was purpose. I did that on purpose. They were meant to be stuck out. They were meant to be stuck out. So what I'm going to do now is add my pear stuck there. You should see how hot it is here. I'm absolutely boiling. My husband stuck the heating on. I'm having a hot flush. So just stick that. Let me just stick a little bit of glue there. Sorry, I have to talk to myself because it goes in better. Wipe that bit of glue off. I can't have glue. So that's going there. I'm quite pleased with this. You've just had hailstones. I say Gordon Bennett as well, Margaret. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lift this up, and what I'm thinking is these bottles need to go here. So I need to stick these bottles here and here. So let me think how I can just hold this. Let me just see. Bear with me. I just need to prop this up. Can you still see if I prop that up a bit like that? That's it. Can you see if I just prop it up a bit? Strip, we can't see. Strip, we can't see you. I'm boiling. I'm sorry the picture's like this. I just need to adhere my bottles. I'm just going to add my bottles here. And obviously you'll see the adhesive until it dries. I'm really enjoying doing this piece, but I wanted to prove to you how versatile, and I've only used one part of that A4 stamp. I've only used one part of the A4 stamp. So I want a little you stay there, don't you start falling on me. Oh, thank you, Eugenie, thank you very much. I'm just sticking a little wood. I will show you, don't worry, I won't hide it from you. I'm just sticking this little wood embellishment. I'm just sticking my embellishments here. And I'm going to stick, yep, bear with me, all those 99 bottles of beer on the wall. I just wanted to prove to you that it doesn't have to just be about cards. It doesn't have to be just about cards. It can be about other things as well. Let me just wipe the excess glue now. Bear with me. I have to do this, so you just have to be a bit patient with me. Just so that it seals the bottom of the curiosities. I'm just going to wipe the base just so that we don't get too much glue. You're going to have a little bit of glue visible until it dries. So now I've got to add some white splatters. Let me just move that out of the way. Let me add some white splatters. And I'm keeping this here so you can see it. Hang on, I need to pump my pen. I don't think I've got my pen pumping. They are from a doll's house. Yes, Serena, absolutely. They were doll's house accessories. Doll's house accessories they were. Don't forget to add a few splatters to your frame, because your frame has got to look part of your project. If you don't do that, your frame won't look part of your project. Let me just dry this and then I can show you. So if you look at the pear stamp, when you look at a stamp, you look at it and you think, well, what am I going to do with that? And I'm hoping that that shows you that you can take it to another level. You can take your stamps to another level. And I'm so pleased with that. I just love, and if you look, we've got a little wood piece here. If I just tilt it, a little wooden piece, 2 little bottles and a collector of curiosities, because that's me all over. Tracy, it's one of my favourite pieces you've done. Oh, bless you, and thank you. So it just gives you another idea. And what you've got here, all you've got is some piece of card stuck together. We mopped up some paint. We've added the circle stamp. We added the circle stamp in the background, which you've got detail here. And then we added the numbers, and we've got little embellishments. But you can make your own embellishments out of a bottle. So I love how it's turned out, and I love how the pear looks dimensional. I think it would look nice on a wall, wouldn't it, Lee? But I just love how it's come together. I'm really pleased with that. And if we get rid of that shine so you can see it, if I put it on the side so you can get rid of some of the glare, hopefully that will help a bit. Oh, thank you, Deb. But I've really enjoyed creating that. I'm trying to get the angle right, and then my camera, so that you don't get the glare and you can see all the details. So I'll hold that down like that. And that's our piece today. And I wasn't quite sure, when samples shown, we can all shout on screen, we've seen that being made live. Well, my samples for the one-day special have already gone. Oh, and Sue's making embellishments. So my samples for the one-day special on Monday have already gone. But I wanted to make some samples that are just between us lot, that aren't going on a Chanda, because I wanted to prove that the samples that have gone to a Chanda have gone, but I'm still inspired to create with them. So hopefully, I've really enjoyed that. Where are you putting it, Tracy? I have no idea yet, Isabel, but I just want to create some pieces that I can just put on the wall, or because I've got some black elements in the room as well. So I'm really pleased with that. I love it. Absolutely love it. And I really enjoyed it. Oh, thank you for sharing, Maureen. I really appreciate you sharing the video. Thank you. So I hope you enjoyed the process. And I hope that inspires you to have a go at a mixed media piece, because your stamps don't just have to use for cards. Oh, thank you, Hope. You're very welcome, Sue. Oh, I'm glad we've lifted your spirits, Sue. So hopefully I'll either be back tomorrow or Thursday. It depends how much work I get done tonight. So hopefully I'll get it done, and then I can come back tomorrow and do another piece for you. So I hope you all have a lovely evening, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow or Thursday. So enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you all soon. And thanks very much for all your support. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. I'm really chuffed with that. Thanks. Could put on a shelf too. Actually, I have got a nice wooden shelf, Belinda. That's a good idea. So yes, I'm hoping to come back tomorrow, Belinda. I'll see you all tomorrow. And thanks for your company again. Thank you very much for staying with me. It's one of the Linda. I've got it. It comes in a set with big arrows little arrows, so you could have even an arrow like that pointing at the pear. So you could have an arrow pointing at the pear as well. So he's got big arrows, medium arrows and small arrows. So yes, they come in different sizes. Thanks very much, everybody. So I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye.